Well, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? I mean, you guys absolutely smashed it. I asked for 1,000 likes on yesterday's episode, and we're sitting on pretty much 1,200. So, guess what? If you hit 1,000 likes today again, I'll have another episode for you tomorrow. So, hopefully, you hit the target and you get some more content tomorrow. So, yeah, guys, welcome back to another episode of my Aston Martin Road to Glory. I mentioned yesterday's episode. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, guys. Link in the top right for the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. This weekend, we're at Zandvoort, and we have a few things on the agenda, which are pretty big, and to be fair, they're worth updating you on. So, the first one is, of course, the engine failure which we had in the last race. This failure now means that we're pretty much relegated to having a penalty for this race, so we're not going to qualify. And while I'm at it, I'm going to take a whole batch of new components for this weekend's race. We lost the MGUH in that last one, so that's the second time this season we've actually lost it. So yeah, we're probably going to have to take another one at some point. I'm not sure if we'll make it to the end on just one more MGUH. We had a failure for the chassis upgrade, which we had planned for this race weekend, so I'm going to go ahead and repurchase two of the failed upgrades that are pending. So the Aero one from the last episode and the one you just saw for the chassis. So we'll get them both on, and they should be on before the next race in Monza. So a nice little double upgrade on the way, hopefully, for that race. And that should give us a big improvement. Now, with that said, we're going to jump into the weekend and some further updates. Now, weather forecast aside, which is dry, you guys need to see basically the lay of the land right now. As you can see, there's been no upgrades for a little while, not just for us, but for every team. I forgot to post this in the last two episodes, but nothing's really happened for some reason. So even though we're not improving, luckily we're not getting called out. Other teams are not really progressing either. However, this is the lay of the land. We have 3 upgrades on the way, 2 major, 1 minor, and most of that is on the chassis. One more thing, you guys were saying in the last episode to basically change the mechanical failures. So I'll take your point, I'll take your word for it, and we'll go ahead and remove those. So from now on, we cannot break down. We can have small issues like ERS failures and stuff, DRS failures, but we can't actually DNF from a race anymore. So yeah, hopefully we can have a nice smooth end to the season, no further dramas, and focus on the performance on track. So currently, as you can see, we are P1 in practice. Decent pace, car working well here. It worked well here last season, so I actually think we've got a good car for this race weekend. The downside is that penalty that we're going to have to take, so we're not going to qualify. So we're starting pretty much last in a track where it's very tough to pass, so that is a bit of an issue. Fuel seems okay, tyres seem okay, we scored a decent amount of points, although Stroll didn't really hold up his end of the bargain so much, but practice finish, we're over 2k points now, and we'll hopefully get more upgrades on at the start of the next episode. But for now, guys, that is it. Those are the updates. We're not going to bother going to qualify because we're going to start last anyway. And yeah, mechanical failures off, big upgrades on the way, and we've got a strong car this weekend. So hopefully, after 3 horrible races, we can finally get ourselves back into the points. It's going to be a tough race, long way to go, but we'll give it our best shot. So guys, let's jump into it.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside in races across Europe. Here, this weekend, it's even easier to find the Dutch fans as they have a race to call their own once again. A warm welcome to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe, of course, as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. A lap of this short 2.6 mile Zandvoort circuit then features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with a 678-metre main straight into turn 1, aka Tarzan corner, which with DRS open will be the best overtaking opportunity on the track. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, George Russell and Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Ocon and Pierre Gasly, Albon, Bottas, Kevin Magnussen and Joe, Mick Schumacher, Vettel, Nicholas Latifi and Lance Stroll, Martinez and Yuki Tsunoda. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. A warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who is beside me in the commentary box today. Let's have a chat about Williams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Now, I want to pretty much put an end to the miserable run of form we've had lately in this series. The last 3 races have just been horrible, so I want to try and have a strong race. So, we're starting 19th yet again on the last row. The big thing here, I feel like I'm fast. Practice pace seemed okay, but crucially, last season we had a very surprisingly good race car here. So, for this one, I'm going to gamble. We're going to start on the hard tyre and then move on to the medium. I've actually got lower tyre pressures than usual. I've got +2 on the front, +4 on the rear, which is not what I usually run, but this is a track with pretty low tyre wear, so you can get away with a bit less pressures and it gives you a bit more performance. Also, fuel's the big question mark here. I'm going to go on the safer side, so 1.2 extra, because I want to have no fuel issues this race. I want to be able to go flat out at all times. And yeah, the idea is to hopefully stay in the race and be competitive on the hard tyre and then fight back later on the medium, possibly the soft. Tyre wear is always great here. You can go very long on your stints and the overcut is always a great option. So yeah, we're going to see how it all works out. I'm looking forward to it, guys. And yeah, prediction is always down below and let's get into it. I don't really have a great amount of tyre temperature. That is a bit of a consequence of the lower tyre pressures. Luckily, we're not really fighting. We're the only car on the hard tyre by the looks of it. Everyone is on mediums or softs. So we're going to have to try and stay competitive in the first part of the race on this tyre. Tsunoda goes through. Didn't really have an answer there. But we'll take it easy. Like I said, everyone seems to be on faster rubber. So we're playing the long game. The idea is to hopefully be on like lap 15 and have, you know, good tyre performance and just good pace overall. So we're just going to try and keep our nose out of trouble. Staying in the DRS train would be the ideal scenario here, especially with this prolonged DRS zone on the banking, which of course is going to be a longer DRS zone, which could also affect the DRS train and how the race, you know, kind of works. So yeah, we're going to have to be ready and aware of that. Bit of a scrap ahead though between Schumacher and Seb. So the 2 Germans go at it, but looks like Schumacher's got the upper hand there. Tsunoda all over the back of us trying to look for a pass, but we're placing our car quite nicely. And this is now just allowing us to build up that tyre temperature, which we need. So, yeah, we'll see how this all goes. Hopefully, the DRS train mostly stays intact. And if we have to make some moves, then we'll have a look. But hopefully Stroll on the soft tyre can get to work and make some things happen. That would be the ideal scenario here. Okay, this is excellent so far. We're keeping up. And the AI should turn their engines down now.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So it should become a little bit easier for us to keep up. And I mean, I'm doing a good job so far. So I don't want to say suspicions are confirmed, but I think we could have a good race today. DRS train just starting to break up a little bit up ahead. Somewhere around P8, P9, I would say. Which is fine, I don't mind that bit of a breakaway. Very happy so far, pace is great, car feels very decent. Hard tyre is also a solid race tyre to be on. You can pretty much see on the mini-map, you know, the story of the season. Out front, both McLarens, Ferraris, Mercedes and Red Bulls, and then it's pretty much the battle for best of the rest between Alpine, Aston Martin, Haas, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo and Williams. And that's exactly what our train is all about. On the mini-map you can see it's the lower end of the midfield battling away, so our objective is to get to the front of that train, and that will start to happen soon. Once the soft tyre runners start to pit, we have to basically move up a position and drive into the DRS of Zhou, so we'll naturally gain a bit of time, and basically that process is going to repeat itself. The more soft tyre runners pit, Stroll out of DRS range. We need to now pretty much overtake him. Unless he pits this lap, we're going to have to make a move. So we'll start to close in. Hopefully makes no mistakes, keeps it nice and clean. We'll get that extra long DRS zone. Then it's crucial that we get within DRS of Zhou. Now here we go. Stroll does not pit, so we're going to have to pass. Beautiful, straight around the outside. Easy pass. Stroll defended, but didn't really do much. Now we've got to try and get within a second of Zhou ASAP. Not quite going to make it, but we've dropped Stroll instantly. I reckon one more lap and we should have DRS on Zhou. Using quite a lot of battery, but we have to basically do that to catch up. Personal best by 6/10. Once we get in DRS, we can charge the batteries a little bit. Okay, there we go. DRS, we can now take a breather. I'm a little bit concerned. We've underfueled, even with 1.2. We've already used half of that in 10 laps. That's a bit of an issue. Gonna have to manage it. So a few more cars in the pits. Surprised actually, quite a lot of soft tyre runners, to be fair, to start out the race. So we'll see how that all works out later on. You're a little bit further back than I'd like. I'd like to catch up to that train of cars ahead of Gasly and Ocon, but I think we're not quite close enough. One more car in the pits, that is Daniel Ricciardo. So we'll leapfrog him. Gonna see if I can try and use some higher gears and still keep performance and also recharge the battery. Perez is also arriving on the scene, so he won't take long. He's two-stopping, to be fair, which is interesting.
Okay, I've got information on Zhou for you. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Okay. Instantly you can see Zhou starting to drop back here, so we're gonna have to clear him ASAP. We'll get him on the main straight and then get into Latifi's DRS. Don't want to lose too much time here stuck behind him, so we'll dispatch him first time of asking, unless he pits, which I don't think he will just yet. A bit early yet for the medium tyre pit window as Lando Norris pits from McLaren. Oh my god. Whew. That was scary. Possible safety car. Wouldn't mind. Even a VSC, to be fair, could just save some fuel.
Green flag.
There's Lando leaving the pits. On mediums. Cold tyres. But I won't fight Lando. Checo right behind as well. Realistically, this is a different race, so we don't really want to be a part of this. Checo flying, but I'll see if I can try and stay ahead for this middle part of the lap. Lost a lot of time to Latifi though, which is not ideal for our race strategy. Hopefully these two can drag us back. Okay, still got DRS
Yellow flag.
on Lando. Yellow flag to turn 1.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
But AI can always overtake on the yellow. Go on, Checo. Crack on, mate. Don't want to fight you. Okay, Lando, new fastest lap. Hopefully, it would be nice if he battled with Ocon and Gasly, but I think they're both going to pit this lap. The medium runners are going to probably bail, so now we're on our own, going long this race. Checo's going to maybe challenge Latifi here. And there we go, as expected. Ocon pits, so does Pierre. And so do the leaders that started on the medium.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Latifi, Perez currently going at it. And Perez getting the jump.
Okay, clear.
Oh, yellow flag.
Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed.
Let's
There's a new
go.
strategy available on the MFD.
Yes.
Got that confirmed.
Give me that safety car. Okay, that will take care of the fuel. We haven't even got to save any on lean. Standard should do the job. But we can get a free pit stop for the medium. Wow. We haven't had a safety car in so long. Incredible timing. Absolutely incredible. Right, let's nail this pit entry.
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Understood. Stopping this lap.
And Stroll's already pit, so we've got a free pit box. Just try not to speed. I don't believe it.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
I don't believe it. Oh. I literally said transfer speed. I thought the pit lane was at 80, not 60, which I realised when I saw the speed. I went in way too quick when I saw the pit lane speed limit. Oh dear. Anyway, it's not the end of the world. We can still fight from here. Still time to make things happen. We're going to have a tire advantage, which is good. These will be on the limit in terms of temperature once we start pushing. Key thing is we'll get to save the fuel so we can go flat out to the end. So I am going to drop it into lean because we're going to need every drop of fuel to push like pretty much qualifying laps until the end of the race. So let's save as much as we can. Right then, here we go. We're going to have to work hard for this if we want to get a couple of points in this one. But we'll give it a shot. We've got the fuel nicely saved up. So back up the standard we go. Tyre temps are on the cooler side, so we'll have to watch out for that. But anyway, let's go wait for the restart. Everyone's on hard tyres pretty much, so this should be fun. Oh, wow, that's close. Can't overtake before the start-finish line. Hold it. Hold it. Gonna try and get them both, and we get them both. Whew. Let's go. Wasn't entirely my plan, but we'll take it. Lovely stuff. Right. So we clear the two slower cars, which I was worried about. Now we're on the back of faster traffic, which is going to help us because we can follow them, hopefully, with this tyre. We ain't got to save fuel now, so I can drive flat out. So let's see if we can, first things first, drop the cars behind out of DRS range. And then just by staying in the DRS of the cars ahead, we'll naturally build up a gap. So let's see if we can make that happen. I feel like Leclerc could have some damage. I might be wrong, but Checo going for the move here. I feel like Leclerc's just got a bit of understeer, struggling to hit certain apexes. We may get a chance to pass one, if not both. Oh my god, Leclerc moves right across on me at the last second. I almost lost my wing. But Checo goes through. Let's just see what Leclerc does through this next right-hander. I just feel like he's struggling. Well, that didn't look too bad to be fair, so I might be wrong. But then there he's nowhere near the apex. Yeah, I think we're going to be struggling. We're going to get him. He has a poor exit. And that's all the invitation we need. Up the inside. Thank you, mate. See you in a bit. Right then, we've got DRS on Checo and we've dropped Leclerc out of range, which is perfect. This is what we need now to try and build a gap to the cars behind. Leclerc battling with Ocon. Perfect. This is going to really help us now. So I think we've got the 5 seconds. I've got no concerns about that now. Just got to try and stick with Checo. He's our saviour this race. He's the car we need to follow at all costs. The pace is picking up now with these guys. Second lap in a row I've missed DRS through this particular zone. We get it back on the main straight, which is the main zone, but they're pushing hard now. Obviously the hard tyres rubbering in, so they're actually now starting to get the upper hand, and now us and the medium are starting to fade. Obviously Perez, difference is he's got a much better car than me, so we will be at a slight disadvantage at the end, but we'll just have to use the battery. I'm trying to save, which is also part of the reason why I'm dropping back, but I'm okay. We're looking okay so far. These are the money laps right now, trying to hold on for dear life right here. Ocon's out of the 5-second window. Leclerc's well gone, and we have a spinner. Oh my god. Russell for a spin. That gives us a free position. Thank you very much. Although, depends how quickly Russell gets the car going again. Looks like he's only lost a couple of seconds in fairness, so he'll re-overtake us or finish ahead of us after the penalty, but still. A few more of those wouldn't go to miss, as now Perez puts the moves on Lewis, and it's all of a sudden to start to kick off again here. Just got to use this to try and recharge the battery. Yellow flag on the pit straight. I think Stroll's had enough. He was dropping back anyway, and I think his race has come to an end. Don't think there'll be a late safety car. Could be wrong. I'll be surprised. Haven't had a safety car in ages, then we get 2 in the same race. That would be such a coincidence. Car's working great. Very, very good. We're holding on to the tyres as well, which is great. Checo's trying to make a break for it. Hamilton's keeping him honest. I'd be happy to finish here, to be fair. We're locking in that P9, which is... oh, sorry, that P8, which is the best we can hope for, really. If you think about it logically. Obviously, Leclerc has an issue, so we're picking up the pieces where we can. Perez just pulling away here. And I think, yeah, Hamilton's out of the DRS range. Could we knock off Hamilton here, or maybe drop him into Russell, let the 2 Mercs battle on the last lap? You never know. Let's give it a shot. Let's try and get Hamilton here. Let's see what happens. If they somehow go side by side throughout the entire lap, that might just give us what we need. Could be a lucky day. Closing. Our battery now as we head on to the last lap. We'll take that. Thank you, Lewis, mate. Not sure they're going to battle though. We need to force them into a side-by-side predicament, which didn't really happen there. So Lando's going to win. Shame we got the damn speeding penalty, because we could have had a genuine P6 today. Well, it is what it is. Now the Mercs are battling, but a little bit too late. Had it been a 3-second, we may have had a chance. They're still going at it. But yeah, Lando wins, and we're going to finish P8 today, so we'll take that. Back in the points.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for McLaren today. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track.
There we go then, guys. That is it for the race at Zandvoort. After the penalty, we finish in 8th as expected, and that is a great result and a good way to bounce back after some pretty crap races. So, Lando wins ahead of Sainz and Verstappen, the hometown boy. Ricciardo P4 in the second McLaren, so pretty good points haul for Papaya here today. Perez P5, both Mercs ahead of us, and 8th place for us, ahead of our rivals Ocon and Gasly, of course, in the Alpine and AlphaTauri, respectively. Leclerc misses out on the points, and then confirmation at the bottom that Stroll retired along with Albon and also Zhou. So, standings, we scored a couple of points, and that took us back above Ocon, 1 point ahead, so that battle's going to continue over the next few races. And in the Constructors, we're still behind Alpine, but we keep them within reach. Gap is 14 points, so we claw back a point today. And yeah, McLaren overtake Mercedes. Up front, Ferrari looking pretty comfortable in both championships, as Leclerc, even with a bad race, still has a pretty commanding lead. So yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe for that one. Again, let's try and hit 1,000 likes, and episode again tomorrow. As always, a big shout out to the channel members for supporting, and yeah, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, and I'll see all of you in the next one at Monza. Until then, take care, and let's go back from me.